What's poppin' guy, you've got the Oracle there, back for round 2 of this, also of the Gatewatch first pre-release event that I do. And I choose to play first, which I'm not sure is right, but we'll see. And I have a hand that I'm gonna keep, but that is not amazing. Um, the Oath of Chase makes it, I guess, better, since I just need the land and I should be able to find things that I need to cast other spells. Um, I'm not. I mean, that hand is not great, but I think it's a keep. The thing I'm rather unsure about is if I should let my opponent play first, um, or just play first myself if I win the die roll. So it's not so clear for me right now. Hopefully I can draw a land at some point. That'd be great. If I don't and my opponent just plays a few creatures, I might just die without doing anything, which is always annoying. But yeah, I still think my hand was a keep, especially on the play. Since mulliganing on the play is rather awful, and this Oath of Chase makes it likely that I can just cast things and um, and find the thing I need if I just can hit my third land, which apparently I am not, as we face one of the strongest cards, I would say, of this set in Eldrazi Displacer. Things are not looking too good. I guess actually I'm not casting Oath of Chase, never mind, I'm casting Wall of Resurgence. The thing is, well, he can basically kill my land with that, if he does have the colorless mana, but I still will have my land basically, so I don't mind that too much. And now I have a blocker, which I kinda need. Alright. I mean, I mostly played this card there for the 0/6 wall more than the land. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have a removal for my land, but a white... I guess he's playing black though. That might have been a risky play, because now if he kills my land, it's quite annoying. As the opponent plays a Corrupted Crossroad, which is one of the greatest fixer of the set. If he allows that, I will block the Displacer, and I guess now he can just blink that upkeep, so I don't have a third mana. Which is good, but he's gonna be able to do that only one turn, so it's not too bad. I keep my blocker. So, I mean, I can still block with my things, I feel fine. And I drew a 2-drop, which is not great, but fine. And now, I think that's quite decent. I mean, I will have to deal with that Displacer at some point. And the thing is, if my opponent constantly keeps the mana available, I will not be able to remove it from the game, because, it can target itself. No, another. Okay, never mind what I said. Rune of Oranreef. Okay, well, my opponent got some quite strong lands. Cliffhaven Vampire, sure. So the opponent can gain 2 life. Not much I can do about that. That's an issue, because I need to deal with that Displacer as well as with the Cliffhaven Vampire. And now it's gonna be time to Oath of Chase. Hopefully I can get land. It's weird because I'm playing 18 lands, and I've had a lot of trouble, just drawing lands in the last game. So I'm not sure why that might be, as there is still no freaking land. Oh my god! I don't think I want Smite, and Rolling Waters is too much mana. Those spells are gonna be great if I can just draw a red at some point, though. But Lord, can I please draw lands? I'm playing 18 lands. Alright, well. And he's gonna be able to gain life and drain me, by the way, because he has that Cliffhaven ability. Things are not looking great. I kept a really borderline hand, but I managed to only draw 2 land out of the 7th card of the top of my library, and now he has also the Essence Depleter. Things are looking really bad. Really bad for me. Yup. So my opponent is just able to drain me for 2 each turn because of that. actually drain me for 3 because this. Okay, yeah, that's just very very bad for me. I need to draw plane into mountain to come back in this game, I think. So I can isolation now, and next turn isolation plus boulder salvo, but it seems like I'm not drawing anything. So I'm just getting drained away without casting a single spell, which is rather annoying. I definitely kept a questionable hand, but still, that draw was quite unlucky. And you know, I feel like it's the third time in a row that I get a very light land draw, despite me playing a fair amount of land. So yeah, not too much I can do about that, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm likely to just get drained away, basically. This produce colorless, I think. Yup. So my opponent can just drain me for 5 each turn. Yeah. I don't think there's any way for me to come back in this game. Um, Honestly, it'd rather drain me than do that, I think. Because draining does 2 to me, except it gain life. And now we cannot use the ability, so I'm not sure what was this attack. The draining effect is much better since he does have that. Not sure what the opponent did there. Seems like a misplay to me. But whatever. Because they can just pay 2 mana, drain me for 2 because of this and that, and gain 1 life, so they pay less mana and just, you know, gain life of the thing, so not sure what was this attack. Seemed not great. Anyway, can I draw something? No. No. Well, I'm just gonna continue now. Honestly, there's no coming back in this game. I've tried as my best, but you know, if I just cannot draw any land, there's unfortunately not much I can do. So let's sideboard. And we're playing a fairly aggressive deck. Honestly, I think if I draw land, I should have a decent shot at winning. The thing just went quite wrong this game. Don't think I want to side in anything. Yeah, that's gonna be it, but well, I'm playing 3 color, which, you know, sometimes just you know, fire back at you, I guess. But yeah, I'm just having issues drawing lands, and this is 6 lander, so I'm gonna mulligan. Yeah, it just seems very hard for me to pull a decent land amount in my first hand this game. Yep, that's a bit annoying, but whatever. It's part of the game. I would, you know, it's a pre-release, so it would be funnier if I could play those games a bit more, but I guess it might not work very well this match. I put island bottom because I need white, I need red, but I don't need more islands. I don't want to get flooded, so no real reason to keep that. Wind Rider is nice if I can obviously draw a few more lands. If I'm gonna be mana screwed again, that's, yeah, that's bad. Loaming Larva, that thing seems quite bad. Not sure why you would play that. Maybe, okay, he's playing 3 color actually, so. But putting the card on the top of your library is fairly bad. It's not like a Wayfarer or something that gives you the card in hand. And it still seems quite impossible for me to draw lands. Alright, well, whatever. I'm gonna discard Touch of the Void and, you know, the runner, which is not great. And Touch of the Void is nice, but I cannot catch it yet, so no real reason to keep that. At least I have 2, you know, decent removal and a 2 good finisher too, so I kinda like my my deck there. The opponent just got absolutely all the mana for the the 3 color ally deck. Oh, that's quite good. Okay, let's cry 0, pretty much as usual. Draw a boulder salvo, which is not too great. I will not sweep away that loam larva. No reason to do so. My opponent might cast a 2/4 vampire this turn, in which case I will isolation zone it unless I top deck a land which could help me cast Wind Rider. We'll see what happens though. What is happening to me? A retreat to Emeria. Well, that's gonna be annoying. I guess I can isolation zone that thing actually. So, and I might do that unless I draw land. Did not draw land. Yeah, I think I will isolation zone that. It's gonna be annoying over the course of the game. And yeah, it feels just like a decent target for isolation zone. Had I drawn a land, I would have been fine casting the Wind Rider, but it seems that in two. Oh, okay, so it's a common. Never mind. For some reason, I thought this thing was a rare. It is still quite good to have two of those as common. I mean, the ability to cast any spell of your deck if you have a creature and be able to have colorless too is strong. As I draw a Griffin, which is fine. Hopefully, I will end up getting a land, but you know, it's not too bad. So between Smite, Salvo, Sweep Away, I should be able to deal with a fair amount of thing. Stasis Snare on my Griffin, sure. I guess that's, you know, that's not too awful for me. Especially since the opponent had to tap one creature to do that. I feel fine. Mountain was a great draw. Yeah, quite perfect. So I could salvo it, I don't see any reason to. I will just play Wind Rider and start to attack. Since my opponent used a Stasis Snare on a Griffin, it might be that I don't have a removal for my next creature, which is the Patrol. I guess I will pretty much take two from the Slaughter Drone no matter what. Is it a drone? Yeah, it's a drone, okay. Attack for two, sure. The issue is that if I want Sweep Away Boulder Salvo, I kinda have to you know, bounce in hand, which is not the greatest thing to do for me. I guess the opponent gained 7 out of that, which is a bit annoying. Not too much I can do, I guess. One of my plays is gonna be to smite that thing first. And yeah. Next turn, I can salvo Incubator Drone. If I draw land, I can salvo Incubator Drone without using the token. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely attacking with Wind Rider. I think I like both of those cards. Yeah, that seems like fine draws. So next turn I draw Island. I can cast the Skulker and the Drone. Yeah, that seems like very good draws. The good news with my deck is that I have a good amount of power level, which means that if I can just play my land and reach a decent amount of mana, I should be able to, you know, deal with my opponent creature and do things. If my opponent plays two, okay, well that's annoying. That's quite strong. Not too much I can do, unfortunately. Had I kept the Sweep Away in my hand, I could have Sweep Away that thing. That would have been great, but here there's not too much I can do. Whatever. I still like my chances. So let's click on the spell first to make it simpler. And Boulder Salvo the Slaughter Drone, I guess. Yup. And pass the turn. My opponent is left with my one card in hand. I have a very good Deep Phantom Skulker as well as a Sweep Away in hand, and I'm drawing the Bounce 2 card, which is nice too. Brood Hunter Worm is, you know, fine. I can just trade those for the worm. We are drawing the Rolling Waters. And actually, if I can draw a land next turn, actually I don't even need a land because I have the Eldrazi Scion, but drawing a land would even be better. If I can just bounce my opponent creature and attack and, you know, draw a bunch of cards off the spell and off the Skulker ability, that'd be just great. If he attacks with Brood Hunter Worm, I might actually just take the damage. I really want to draw a lot of card of this Rolling Water. So I do not mind that too much. Yeah, I guess I can go to 11, that's not... I mean 7, that's not too low. Especially since this card is gonna give me a fair amount of tempo. Okay, Oath of Chase. Still not doing anything. The issue with that card is that you will have to answer the trigger every single turn, even if you do not have a Planeswalker. Alright. So I'm quite sure I'm casting Rolling Waters. Now I could do several things. I think I could bounce those two, which means I can attack for 7 and draw 3. But by doing that play, I take 4 next turn from the worm. I'm at 7, so I think I will just bounce Larva and Worm and attack with only Skulker and Incubator Drone. And probably take 2 from the War Cleric next turn, which is fine. Let's target me, not mistake. Alright, so I will most likely draw 4 cards this turn, which is great. And that should settle me for a very good end of game. As the opponent has a disregard on the Incubator Drone, which is actually fine. I mean, I still keep my Skulker, so I'll still be able to draw 1 more card. And I drew Chandler and Sweep Away, which is quite nice. So I have 2 of those Sweep Away. The opponent plays the Larva. I don't think they want more lands, so it is quite good to bounce that, because they will not really use the Enter the Battlefield trigger. And this was a 2-4, now it's 1-3. Just a good trade for me. The Brood Hunter Worm and attack for 2, I guess. Yeah, okay, pretty much what I expected. I'm still gonna not scry. I don't really want to trade my Skulker for Brood Hunter Worm, especially now that I do have the ability to use the... I guess I had it already because of the Scion, but it's not the greatest thing to do so. So I guess at 4 now. Yeah, I will just pass the turn, keeping Sweep Away in hand. I mean, keeping Sweep Away available to me. And next turn I might start to attack. The thing is, if I don't want to sacrifice the Scion, I have to... okay, a Scion Summoner, sure, that's fine. I have to sacrifice this if I want to be able to attack with the Skulker. The opponent might attack with Brood Hunter Worm, as they do not do so. Alright, alright. Blade Wheel is something, I guess. Yeah, that's gonna be a board stall, which is not great. The thing is, I can attack with my Deep Fathom Skulker now. And if he tries to make a block with a lot of things, he might get blown back by a Sweep Away. He might just jump with the Scion, that could be a thing. I don't think he care too much about 4 damage, but mostly for, you know, the draw 1. Brood Hunter Worm, sure. 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 That would be fine. Which one? Do I want to kill both of his creature or the worm? I think I'd rather kill both creature. I could... yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna sweep away that... yeah, I think I'm gonna sweep away the worm. Pay 2, sure, and pass the turn. And that's a nice trade. I bounced a creature, but in the process I ate 2 other creatures. Seems fine to me. So the opponent is left with a Looming Larva, a Little Scion, and a Worm in hand, and that's completely fine with me. I will most likely start to use the ability and attack with Unblockable if unless the opponent plays something really scary. Because now that those two things are gone, I have enough board presence that I can afford to do that. So no Brood Hunter Worm, something else. The opponent top deck a better spell. Well, that's Runus Pass. Jesus. Well, that's good. Not gonna lie. That's quite good. What a good top deck. And they didn't ask me if I wanted to keep my mana. Weird. Anyway, I'm fine using Sweep Away there. It's, Runus Pass was strong, but now it will basically top deck a land next turn, which is quite bad. And I can attack with my Skulker. Alright. Alright. I think I'm fine sacrificing that to deal 4 and draw a card. So I will do that. Choose itself. Sure. I guess I could have drawn my card after Blade Wheel too. Doesn't change anything actually. Yes, I wanna use the ability. Oh my god, Drone of Hope, that's great. Just the best top deck of my entire deck here. Yeah, that should pretty much seal the deal. Yep, great top deck here. Especially since those Scion can, be either used to tap something or make my creature unblockable. That's great. And the opponent just conceded. The combination of Skulker and Drone of Hope pretty much sealed the deal for me, which is nice. Now, what do I want to... My open deck is very good though. I like it a fair amount. Don't think there's too much I can do that's great as a sideboard option. I mean, this gain life, but obviously life gaining effects are quite awful in limited. There's really not much I want to add to the deck or cut. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Just gonna keep the deck the way it is. And yeah, hopefully I can just stabilize the board and win with my big mana spell like the Rolling Waters and the 2 wares, which are both great. I do need to draw lands and be able to cast my spell to do so. So we'll see how it goes. As the opponent might be, thinking about whether he lets me play first or not. My hand is definitely lacking red, but I think it is a keep. With those lands I can cast a lot of my spells. I have a turn 2. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. It's not amazing. If I continue to draw plane and island, that's gonna be quite bad. But that aside, I like it a decent amount. Yeah, island was probably one of the worst draw of my entire deck. As this thing turn 1 is... yeah, it's gonna be very bad for me, because basically you can just delay its creature for 1 turn and make them stronger each time. That's just very bad for me. Isolation Zone was a good draw. Hopefully I just hope that I draw a red and then mostly spells. If I draw a few more plane and island, I will just be quite flooded. No, not really flooded yet, but things could go wrong. My opponent just has a very sweet mana base though. Another plane, okay, that's fairly awful. I might get complete disregarded there, which I cannot do too much about. Guess the opponent takes 2 here, and might disregard end of turn if I don't play anything else. No disregard, okay. Please please do not give me more island and plane deck. The opponent is doing a very slow start though. It might be also flooded. I drew a mountain, which is nice. So this means basically that I drew 2 spell. Um, yeah, I guess I will continue to attack. This thing might get destroyed. No, still no. I don't mind that. I mean, it's not a lot of damage, but it is fine. And I guess with the land I have now, I can cast any spell of my deck, which, you know, is great. I just hope that I will not draw more land. And the opponent is... he might be color screwed. I'm not sure. Anyway, uh, let's not auto-yield in case he has an instant blocker. Not very likely, but might as well play around that. The issue is that if my opponent is mana screwed, I mean, I don't have any pressure because I mostly have land and removal. And if he is mana screwed, then when he will start to draw land that he can use to cast things, I will just, you know, I will not be able to follow up in terms of card advantage. He's disregarding the Coral Elm, which, you know, I cannot do much about. As I will draw Rolling Waters, which is good, Not gonna complain about that. Obviously, I do not have any target yet. My deck might have too many bounce and and removal, actually. Might need a little bit more threat. As the opponent still does nothing. It might seem really unlucky and bad for them, but that might just fire back at me just because when my opponent will be able to cast things, they have 7 good spells in hand. I mean 7 spells that are better than a Void Attendant. So if they can just deal with my Channeler, I'm gonna be in bad spots. On the other hand, if they still don't have anything and I can attack with that, yeah. Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie, that's starting to be quite unlucky on my opponent part. I guess those lands are really good, but if you didn't manage to play a creature, they are not so great. Alright, well, still nothing. Yeah, that's really unlucky. And now I think that there's not really any type of coming back, because it seems that my opponent doesn't have a removal. If they play a creature, I can pretty much kill the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creature. 6, I guess, even, if we count that as 2 creature. Alright, yeah. That's really stupid. I don't mind winning that match. I mean, I will not lie, but it's a pre-release, and it would have been funnier to see things happen. And yeah, the fact that my opponent wasn't able to cast any spell except for disregard the whole game is quite stupid. But I guess it's interesting because I guess it's obviously annoying and sad for them, but it is interesting because it can tell you something about your mana base, that those settlements are good, but you cannot really count them as multicolor cards because you really need a creature. So yeah, that's at least interesting. Quite unfortunate for my opponent. Anyway, that's gonna be the end of match 2, and I guess I see you guys for match 3. Thank you for watching.